Hi there, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go over how to split frame, freeze frames, and also manage the view tab. Let's get started. So first off, let's go to the view tab. This is where we can change the view as well as modify any way that we want to see the data. Let's say we have all this data and we want to be able to see the top row, but if we scroll to the bottom, we lose sight of what the headers look like. The easiest solution is to freeze the frame, also known as freezing the top row. You can come here, freeze panes. Once you click that, you can freeze the top row or freeze the first column. If you freeze the top row, you will be able to see the header at all times. If you freeze the first column, if you scroll over, you'll always be able to see the first column. Now, let's say that you want to always see the employee ID, name, and department. That means it's the first three rows. And we also, at the same time, want to always see the header as we continue to scroll further down. That will be a custom freeze pane. So if I want to see all three of these, I will put my cursor in the column next to it. And if I want to see only the top row, I will put my cursor underneath it. In that position, I can hit freeze panes, and as I continue to scroll, all of these have been logged. So now I will always see the first three columns as well as the top row. You can always change and modify the way that you freeze your panes so that if you decide to look at your data from a different perspective, it's very easy. In order to unfreeze your panes, all you have to do is come here, unfreeze, and now it goes back. But let's say you always want to see the top 10 rows at all times. What you can do is add a split frame. So you can come to split, and here you'll see that there's a faint gray line, one going up and down and one going side to side. You can move these around so that you can modify the view that's being frozen. So for example, let's say I want to see the top 5, and I always want to see the name and ID. So now, as I continue to scroll, you will see that the top part has been frozen, so I always see the top 6 rows there. And the bottom part, I can see everything else. So I can even compare up here. Maybe I want to compare the top 5 to the bottom 5, or I just want to see and compare those numbers to other numbers that are happening in between. Once you're done with that view, all you have to do is hit that button again, and it removes the split screen. If you want to just compare data books, all you have to do is hit this new window button. This will open up a new window of the same workbook. Here you can see we're looking at the same data side by side. We have file 1 and file 2. Any changes that you make in either of these files will be copied over to the other file. If you wanted to create a separate file entirely, make sure you save it as a separate file. Once you're done, you can just close this out and you're left with one workbook. You can also hide your workbook if you would like by clicking this button. Once you click that button, this workbook will go away and you'll have to open up a new Excel workbook in order to unhide any hidden workbooks. These few features will be able to help you navigate, review, and view some of the data, especially if you're working with large data sets. Let me know what other features you want me to go over in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.